here on 99.5 FM रेडियो दबंग पे मेरा और आपका साथ until 7 o'clock। और अब वो लम्हा आ ही गया जिसका था आपको और मुझे, हम दोनों को इंतज़ार। As I told you that हमारे आज के जो स्टार हैं वो थोड़ा सा he was running a little bit late. You already know who it is that we're going to talk about. I'm super excited. I've known him for many years and I've seen his growth. I've seen him progress and he's doing so well, mashallah. He's made quite a name for himself, and at this day and age where his name is associated to be featured with some of the top names and top celebrities of Pakistan, I think that's quite an accomplishment. So, ladies and gentlemen, इससे पहले कि मैं उनको इंट्रोड्यूस करूं, एक दफ़ा फिर आपको याद दिला दूं कि आप इस वक्त मुझे ऑन एयर भी सुन रहे हैं ये इंटरव्यू, और अगर आपका कोई भी फीडबैक है तो आप स्टूडियो के नंबर पे व्हाट्सएप कर सकते हैं 713-974-4000. उसके अलावा प्लीज़ मेक श्योर यू लीव कमेंट्स. वी आर ऑल्सो लाइव ऑन रेडियो दबंग पेज on Facebook. If you're not following it yet, then you should. All fans of our today's Dabang star, go ahead, log on to Facebook and check out Radio Dabang page. And on that note, help me welcome none other than our very own star, Shayan Farooqi. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I am doing well. Shayan, आप थोड़ा सा माइक को अपने यहाँ आगे कर लो, यहाँ आप आगे हो जाओ. There you go.
Okay.
तो आपकी ज़रा जो अच्छी बेस वाली सेक्सी आवाज़ है वो थोड़ी सी ज़रा और करीब से आए, जो आपकी गर्ल फैंस जो है, आपकी फीमेल फैंस, उनके लिए.
Thank you.
And that smile. So फिर से कहिएगा अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम. कैसी हैं सामने?
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक हूँ. आप कैसे हो?
बस अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, अल्लाह का शुक्र.
It's good to have you here. I'm glad you were able to make it, even though अभी तो storm भी शुरू हो गया था.
अच्छा, I didn't know about the storm.
Oh, probably not in your route. It's a good thing.
अगर मुझे पता होता तो I would have used it as an excuse.
Oh my goodness. मतलब मैं इतने I don't buy it, Shayan. I don't, believe me, only with my words maybe. But yeah, नहीं अच्छा हुआ ना कि आपके रास्ते में देखें कोई तूफान नहीं आया.
Yes.
Yeah, वो सारे हमारी रिश्ते में आते हैं. But anyways, Shayan, good to have you here. You have been, अब आप इतने माशाल्लाह से मसरूफ़ हो गए हैं एंटरटेनमेंट इंडस्ट्री में कि आप उस तरह नज़र नहीं आते हैं ह्यूस्टन में जैसे आया करते थे. Like I said, I've known you for so long and we go way back. But we want to talk about and focus on your journey. Because for you to get on this path, and then it's not easy. Entertainment industry में हम सब जानते हैं कि आसान नहीं होता अपना नाम बनाना और जगह बनाना. And you actually managed to do this, mashallah. So let's start with how did it start?
Well, you know, I've kind of been interested in entertainment for a long time.
Uh-huh.
और 2013 में मैं मिस्टर पाकिस्तान वर्ल्ड जीता था.
Right.
उसके बाद हमने पहली फिल्म बनाई अपना ना बैंड ना बाराती, जो हमने 2016 में शूट करना शुरू की थी. और उसके बाद फिर मनी बैग गारंटी. उसके बीच में भी मैंने एक इंग्लिश सीरीज़ में काम किया था, बी समवन में. और अभी हमारी एक वेब सीरीज़ कंप्लीट हुई है जिसमें सबा कमर है, मिकाल जुल्फ़िकार है, नैयर एजाज, उस्मान पीरज़ादा, काफ़ी बड़ी कास्ट है उसमें भी. तो that one's supposed to come online either on Amazon or Netflix very soon. It's in the final stages.
Okay.
So it's a political thriller, first of its kind in Pakistan. It's very bold.
Uh-huh.
Right. It's
hence the reason it's going to be released on one of these formats.
Yes, and it's based on reality, on corruption. You know, we're just not like there for the entertainment business. We also want to bring messages, like our film. Our film Money Back Guarantee was also against corruption in Pakistan.
Yeah.
So I think art is a medium to tell a good story and get people kind of, you know, aware of what's wrong and where they can take action and things like that. You know, Money Back Guarantee was funny. We had a big cast: Fawad Khan, Mikal Zulfikar, Wasim Akram, Shanira Akram, Aisha Omar, Hiramani. We had like, you know,
it's a big ensemble
probably
cast.
Like 50 biggest names in Pakistan. Matter of fact, people like, how did you like get all these people together? Because it's very difficult to get such.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah, like how was that possible?
I mean, you know, alhamdulillah, I have a good reputation in Pakistan. You know, obviously we represent Houston, so we can't go over there and make our name bad.
Yes.
So, you know, everyone respects me there. Some of the biggest artists I worked with, I even brought Myra Khan here.
Yes.
At one time. You were involved in that as
yes.
well. You hosted. You did a great job there.
Thank you.
So basically, that journey started. I did a few films. I've done this web series. I've also done an English film called The Wrong One. It's going to come on one of the free platforms called Tubi.
Okay.
It's not a cinematic film. One of my friends, Ray Khan, who's also a producer in Houston,
Yes.
you know, he does, you know, like English films that are for like Tubi, Amazon, certain different platforms. तो वो की है और अभी हमारे और प्रोजेक्ट हैं. हमने एक स्क्रिप्ट लिखवाई है, द ग्रेट गामा.
Okay.
It's about one of the most respected and well-known wrestler in Pakistan. गामा के अलावा इस वक्त एक दो और स्क्रिप्ट पे हम काम कर रहे हैं.
So hold on right there. Now we're talking about all your future projects, and it's so good to hear that you're involved with all these. I want to take a little step back. कि when जैसे मैंने कहा कि getting into all this, and you've always wanted to be. So it all started with after you became Mr. Pakistan, या वो दिल में हमेशा से था कि ये ख्वाहिश.
बचपन से ख्वाहिश थी और you know my father was very interested in getting me onto the screen. I don't know, he really had this passion for me to become an actor. And so the first film I made, my father was heavily involved in it. He was actually the producer, but he passed away during the filming of the movie, or like towards the end of it. So I think it's something that I've always wanted to do, kind of came naturally. You know, when you want something, the path's created. And,
yes.
You know, you could either take it or not take it.
No, definitely. And it shows from the projects that you're involved in and that you're doing. कोई इसमें कोई ऐसी मुश्किल, कोई रुकावट, कोई स्ट्रगल जो कहते हैं ना कि इंडस्ट्री में घुसना, इंडस्ट्री के लोगों के साथ काम करना, उसमें बड़ी मुश्किल होती है. They give a hard time to an outsider, as in if you're not a nepo kid, and you're not a nepo kid, or you know, या दोस्तियाँ. Was it hard to get into it?
Initially, it was very hard. Obviously, you know, because all these stars, they have their, you know, they feel like they're at a spot somewhere, right? But you know, I think if you have a good personality and you're not stuck up like that, like thinking that, okay, I'm going to be me, like I went as myself.
Right.
Right. And just, they all respected me. I don't know. If you do people right, you'll get done right.
They will, yeah.
I think, I firmly believe in it. You know, there's been a couple, you know, here and there bad experiences, but I don't take bad experiences and return the favor.
Like what? Something you can
like,
share?
let's say if somebody like disrespected you, sort of like, oh, this is my chair, or like, oh, why did you come in this makeup room?
So ऐसे करते हैं?
Yeah, obviously, you know, it's just like, even if you're a model, you know, there's like the A grade, the B grade.
Of course, yeah.
But, you know, I kind of climbed the ladder to A grade very quickly, you know, and I, like you've seen, I work with the biggest stars, and they're very close to me.
Who is easy to work with? The easiest, like सबसे बहुत chill है. मतलब easy मने से easy, I'm like ये chill है इसके साथ काम करना.
नहीं, कोई इतना chill नहीं.
कोई chill नहीं है. Everyone has their share of नखराज़ा.
कोई इतना chill नहीं है.
Okay.
मैं खुद भी इतना chill नहीं
हूँ. Okay, well you're like हाँ अब मेरे भी बहुत नखरे हो गए सामिया. I'm sure you do.
नहीं, नखरे की बात नहीं है. You know, but when you do this, it's a very hard job. People are critical about you. You have to take you take on a lot of stuff, and it kind of develops you a certain way.
Right.
It looks like nakhre, but it's kind of like, you know, so sometimes you could be on a shoot starting 7 a.m. and it goes on till like 12 p.m.
Wow.
After the 24 hours, right?
Long
like
hours,
you've done like 30, 36 hours, and you know, people get
you get
in
tired,
a certain mood,
yeah.
You know, I don't only do films and series and media. I also run a big company in Houston.
Right.
And, you know, a lot of people know about my company. My businesses are known.
Let's tell our listeners. Let's tell our audience.
So,
movies के अलावा आपका क्या business है? क्या करते हो?
So I develop real estate. I buy big pieces of land and I bifurcate them and I sell lots to builders. I also own the Now and Forever gas stations. If you've seen the stores with the 3 cows, you know, all around, you know, Southwest. We do those. We've got a software company where we license softwares to different companies. We have some restaurants, just, you know, a variety of different things we do.
So doing all these things, how do you take time out for movies and projects and stuff because having dates and let's say a project like money back guarantee. अब उसमें जितने सब stars थे, जितने artists थे, उन सब के schedules, dates करना, and then for you to manage your dates and then with all this going, how do you do that? Do you have a manager by now or not?
Yeah, I've got several managers. I've
Several
got personal
managers, okay.
assistants, right? But it's not so much about that. You get your dates. For money back guarantee, believe it or not, I flew like 4 times back and forth.
Yeah, I'm sure.
From Houston to Karachi, from Houston to Lahore, from Houston to Turkey, Istanbul. So it's not easy. I mean, it's very tiring. But if you're passionate about something, I think when you're in the heat of the moment,
do it,
it doesn't,
yeah.
you're not like tired or anything. But you later on realize, like, man, that was a big
Can't
pull.
believe I did this.
Yeah.
Shayan, how do you feel about क्योंकि आप movies में ही इतना involved हो और अभी आप projects जो कर रहे हो, how do you feel about the Pakistani cinema के जिसके बारे में अब constantly यही बात की जाती है, इतनी फिल्में नहीं आ रही हैं, it's, you know, they keep on saying it's dying, but then you also see कि movies आ भी रही हैं. How do you feel about it? What do you think?
Pakistani cinema is a bit of a declining market.
Okay.
To be honest, I mean, I don't think it's a declining market. I think it's a stagnant market. Like, there's no growth. Like, you know, it's not like Bollywood where we're making like 50, 60, 100 films a year. We only have like 5 films, maybe 10 maximum, right? So the cinema struggle. So the Pakistani cinema itself struggles when there's not enough content out there. So a lot of cinemas are closing.
As it is, जहाँ के इतनी screens already नहीं है, and on top of that, they're closing.
They're
too.
closing because there's not enough content, because they're only relying on English films or Pakistani films, and
True.
I think they've brought in some Indian Punjabi films or
Correct.
Turkish films and things like that. But I would say it's not, to me, it doesn't look very positive, right? Because unless Indian films were running, the cinema doesn't have a constant supply of content.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
Have you thought about going into dramas?
You know, dramas, I've thought about going into them, but they take a lot more longer than making a film, right? Because dramas have like 30 episodes, 30 minutes each.
And if it's a hit, it could go on then up to 50 episodes as well.
Let's just say a normal one's like 30 episodes. That's 6 hours of content that you have to create. And to create 6 hours of content, you need about 6 months.
And that's a big commitment for you.
That's a big commitment for me.
The reason I ask is because we all know that Pakistani TV dramas are a much bigger industry in Pakistan than the movies.
Yes.
And even the biggest of the biggest stars do, whether it's a Fawad Khan or a Humayun Saeed or anybody. Even if Fahad Mustafa is doing a drama these days.
Yes.
So, you know, that's why I was like wondering whether you're interested and would you look into it?
Maybe. I mean, if I get the time, definitely.
Are you inspired by anyone in the industry? Pakistani industry.
Humayun is a very good guy, very successful. He's took it on another level. I think he does dramas, he does everything.
Yeah.
Mikal's a good friend of mine.
Yes.
Fawad's done really good for himself. I think I'm inspired by all of them. You know, these guys are really doing a good job. Even the females like Mahira, Mehvish. I mean, Mehvish did Marvel.
Yeah.
And so did Fawad. And so did some other Pakistani actors. So it's kind of like we have quality people, but we don't have the right medium. Obviously, dramas kind of, even for like the bigger stars, they get kind of like over it, right? Because you've done like 20 dramas. Like, where is it going to go after that?
Yeah.
There's no scalability. So you could have like a hit drama. Now then you need some excitement, right? Like, what's
So are
next?
you making that transition, like you said, you're doing a movie into Hollywood?
No, I mean, I did an English film. I'm more passionate about Pakistani cinema.
Okay.
I was always into it for the Pakistani cinema.
Okay.
Less, I'll do a drama, but I didn't go into the entertainment industry for dramas. I was more into films. I like the cinematic
You
thing.
like the big screen.
I like the
you
big-
like that. You like how you look on the big screen.
I like how everyone looks on it. I want to make good content for the big screen.
What about जो अब आजकल एक और शुरू हो गया है into Turkish industry, the Turkish dramas, the period dramas that they're doing, and I think अभी recently you have a Dure Fishan, you have like दो तीन actors and who are going into that. Is that something that interests you? Because you could possibly pass as a Turkish person too with your looks and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't speak Turkish.
I don't think those people also speak.
Yeah, I think it's a dubbing thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe?
You know, I haven't. Yeah, maybe. I'll say maybe. I have no like certain answer for that.
क्या है आगे? अच्छा, what about your before I wrap this up, how is your fan interaction? And I know you have a lot of female fan following. I want to know this. Have you ever encountered any crazy female fan or anything crazy that's happened to you? DMs,
I mean, you know, like,
अब वो ज़माना तो नहीं है कि खून से अपना खत लिखा and all of that.
No, you
Like
know,
any crazy DMs and messages, text messages.
You get them, you know, but I just don't entertain them. You know, I get.
Actually, I'm sure you guys can see how shy he is right now. He's blushing and he's not even looking at me. He's like, yeah, you get them. How do you handle them?
I actually don't control my social media. I have a team in Pakistan that actually handles
Okay, so you don't even read those.
them. Yeah, I don't really read them.
I'm sorry, ladies, but he just broke your heart. Come on, like really, कुछ
Hey,
तो इन लड़कियों को कुछ तो सहारा दो.
Send a message. Let's see.
I like that. Send a message and let's see. आगे क्या सोचा है लाइफ के लिए? You told us about these upcoming projects that you're working on. When do you expect them to be released?
So Mandi should be coming out soon, maybe 3 to 5 months.
I like that name, Mandi.
Money
Yeah.
Back Guarantee's coming out. No, Money Back Guarantee's already out, but the wrong one.
Okay.
It's an English movie. Should come out maybe. You know, in the wrong one, there's this one really popular girl from Houston. That's also a part of it.
Who? I mean, and I don't know. You want to
What-
disclose?
You tell me who were like big social media girls in Houston.
These days, don't make me say anything wrong. There are quite a few.
There-
Everybody
yeah,
thinks
you know
that
what? Yeah, there is.
everybody these days
But
thinks that
actually,
they are.
Rosie Perani's in there.
Oh, okay.
Rosie's
okay,
in
okay.
there. Her
Okay.
husband's in there. I've got some big actors. Drea Michelle, who's a very big American actress.
Okay, nice.
She's in there. She was in the Basketball Wives of LA. And there's popular names in that film.
Nice, nice.
that's
Well,
it.
you're there, and that's what matters, you know. We've got our very own Shayan Farooqi there. Shayan, what would you like to, and I'd like to ask our celebrities, our stars, this, that, you know, people who are listening to you right now, regardless of their gender, anybody who who's aspiring to be an actor, and now we have so many people up to theater bhi kafi shuru ho gaya, desis ka and all that. Wait, would you do theater?
I've done theater before.
Yeah?
I've done theater in university. I've done theater in high school. But
Nice.
I don't want to do theater anymore.
You don't want to do
No,
theater.
it's
Again,
very tedious.
Mr. Farooqi is like the big screen guy. That's it. But yeah, so what I was saying, कि जो aspiring actors हैं, who want to make it, who want to make it, whether it's industry, drama or movies, whatever, what would you suggest? क्या advice दोगे आप उन young लड़के लड़कियों को जो actor बनना चाहते हैं?
So I'm going to be very honest with
Yes.
you. Okay. Becoming an actor or actress, it's all connection based. If you don't know the right people, it's very difficult. But the good thing is what we're about to do is we're about to do some shows in America, maybe do some filming. So we will be casting local talent at some
Nice.
point.
Okay.
I've got some screenwriters, some big name guys that are coming over to Houston that are going to start, you know, writing for us. And it's going to be kind of like a hybrid between America and Pakistan.
Okay.
And we will be auditioning local talent
Okay.
from all over the US, Canada. If somebody
Awesome.
wants to fly in from the UK and work here, hey, that's great, but we're not paying the airfare.
Of course.
If it's your passion, we'll pay you for the work, but
Yeah.
we can't pay the airfare.
Yeah.
That's going to be, I think, a good opportunity,
That's a good opportunity,
for
yeah.
local talent to do something.
So I think what people need to do is just keep following your social media and look for updates.
Yes. We have a company social media for Zashko Films.
Okay.
Those updates will probably be there, but I'll also post it on my Instagram and my Facebook. So there will be, we're actually going to be doing some large scale production
Nice.
in the US and Canada.
Okay.
And we will be able to take local talent. But obviously it's going to be audition based. And
Yeah.
if you fit the character, like.
So there you go. आपका मसला हल हो गया है. आपको ज़्यादा कोशिश करनी. I mean, of course, you have to work on your craft. Do that and watch out. Follow Zashko Films.
Zashko
and
Films.
Follow Shayan and see whenever this new project comes up, they'll be casting. Anything you'd like to say to your fans right now?
Keep watching.
And with that, of course, super grateful, Shayan. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you,
know you had to take some time out, and for all these, and it's just a few minutes. Likin, it was very important for us to have you here. We wanted to put a spotlight on our people who are from Houston, and of course you, mashallah. Someone from Houston and who's done such, like we're saying, such big names. You're working now with, to Sabah Kamar, to Mikhail Zulfikar, to Fawad Khan, to Wasim Akram. कौन सा नाम है जिसके साथ अभी तक आपने काम नहीं किया? So I think you've done great.
अब कोई नाम नहीं बचा
है ना?
But this interview, I would tell you, is connection based. A lot of pressure from you and Moy.
Well, like you said, connections work in this
This industry is all about connections.
It's all about connections. Yes, that's right. Had to have him over here. Thank you once again, Shayan, for being here. Appreciate it. And on that note, of course, do let us know. And if you have any questions for him, all you need to do is put comments on our Facebook page under this interview. We are live right now on Radio Dabang. And for those who are listening on the radio, again, looking forward to your messages. I'm going to go ahead and take a break. Uske baad mera aur aapka saath, just another 10 minutes to go. Stay tuned.